tonight.
Oh!
Dr. Christian's back on the obesity frontline.
For me, cheesecake was like crack cocaine.
With more warnings from the land of plenty.
If I don't change my ways, I'm not going to live much longer. They gave me 5 more years.
In the feeding clinic, it's supersized comfort eater Chris.
For you, food seems to be a friend, but it's not.
It stabs you in the back pretty quick.
Versus super skinny Nathan.
I would like to eat more, but I just don't think I can possibly fit any more in my stomach.
Plus, we're exploring the desperate world of life-threatening eating disorders.
There are times when I look in the mirror and all I see is flab and rolls and curves.
Because it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. Unhealthy relationships with food aren't only a British problem. Across the pond, over a third of the population are clinically obese. Dr. Christian is in America's fattest city, Evansville, to show us the horrifying impact obesity is having on its expanding population. From the very young...
Well, it's actually up 6 pounds from last time you were here.
...to those whose time is running out.
I need the help. Yeah. That's why I'm doing the surgery. I don't feel like I can do it by myself.
The city's Deaconess Hospital is on the front line, treating patients suffering the chronic effects of the obesity epidemic. And today, Dr. Christian is joining physician Dr. John Moynier on the ward.
We see a lot of uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled high blood pressure, high cholesterol. All of those are in some way associated with the obesity.
And do you think this problem's getting worse?
Absolutely. I think it's a long history of people that don't exercise well, a lot more fast food. But I think a lot of the patients that we see in the hospital don't understand how bad their problems are.
Can I tag along and be nosy and see what
absolutely.
You do?
The first patient is Dennis Hamers, whose weight-related high blood pressure has led to heart failure and pneumonia.
How are you, Dennis?
All right. I'm breathing.
Blood pressure was extremely high when he came in, and because of that, it's making his heart really work overboard. Some of the fluids backing up into his lungs, which also contributed to the pneumonia. But of course, the obesity doesn't help this complication at all.
And have you tried to do anything about your weight, Dennis?
I keep a close eye on it. Because it's not Hollywood, buddy. You don't wake up one morning and go, whoops, take 2. No, buddy, you're dead. You're dead.
Well, I've been looking around the hospital. A lot of the problems here are obesity-related. Why do you think it's such a problem in Evansville?
Our lifestyle. It's easier just to go, hold on, do that, I can go get me a burger.
Yeah.
Well, that burger's going to clog your arteries, pal. They've made it too convenient.
You're kind of saying that, you know, America, land of plenty, has kind of backfired on you now.
My God, I don't think I could have put it a better way.
Next patient is Phyllis Moorhead, whose body is filling with fluid as a result of heart failure.
She has compression wraps on her legs right here to help kind of squeeze some of the swelling out of the legs.
And you've lost a toe. What happened there?
Due to diabetes.
Oh.
That diabetes is bad.
It sure is. How long have you been overweight for?
Long time.
Have you been trying to keep it down?
Yeah. Well, I know it's worth it. I should do it, but sometimes I just mess up.
Why do you think it's so hard to control weight?
Fast food don't help matters any.
All right, Phyllis, I'll see you in the morning, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Finally, the doctor visits Gary Young, who suffers from weight-related diabetes.
What's happened to Gary?
He's got an infection in the side of his knee. And one of the things that really contributes to that is his type 2 diabetes.
I never did take care of myself. I spent 25 years out on the road driving a semi, you know, and I ate greasy hamburgers a lot, all kinds of stuff.
And were you told about the possible complications of being really overweight?
Yeah, I was told about it, but I didn't care. I figured that I was a super, you know.
It's not going to happen to you, is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen to me.
It's never too late to make changes. You remember that?
If you got a breath in your body, you got a chance.
I've seen some pretty severe conditions here, all of them obesity related, and I have to say that now I'm a bit concerned because the patients have all admitted to me that they know what they should be doing, but they don't do it. And my worry now is how on earth do we get them doing those right things?
Back in the UK, in an attempt to stop us ending up like the poor patients in Evansville, Dr. Christian is confronting calorie crimes at both ends of the scales, with 16 supersizers and super skinnies. He wants them to tackle their extreme habits by facing their opposites in his feeding clinic, and he's ready to pair up the the next 2 willing victims.
Chris, come on forward. And I'm going to pair you up with Nathan.
You all right, Chris?
Hi, Nathan. I'm Chris. Good. I'm a bit big, you're a bit small.
There was a huge difference between me and Chris. He made me feel a lot sort of skinnier than I've felt in the past. I'm always getting told that I should eat more pies.
You should, but you shouldn't eat as many as I do. Some of the other super skinnies were really, really tiny. I didn't want to even give them a hug just in case they would snap.
Chris's main priority is food, and he'll go out of his way to get his hands on it, whereas Nathan will completely forget to eat unless someone brings his food for him. They're both young enough to turn this around, and I'm hoping that together they'll help each other through this experience.
26-year-old Chris Longley from Hampshire is a self-confessed takeaway junkie.
Hi, can I order a large meaty pizza with extra cheese, extra bacon, extra sausage with a garlic pizza bread, buffalo wings? It's Big Chris.
With up to 12 takeaways a week, binge eater Chris is digesting nearly double his daily calorie limit.
I'm definitely addicted to takeaway food. It's a compulsion.
His £150 a week habit is hitting his wallet and his waistline. Single Chris weighs in at over 24 stone, with a belt-busting 64-inch waist.
Breakfast, I'll have cereal. And then on the way to work, I'll have a takeaway from a drive-through, and then I'll go to a petrol station, pick up a sandwich or a sausage roll or chocolate bars, crisps, and then I'll eat some of them on the way to work as well. But at lunchtime, I'll often go and pick up a quarter-pounder burger with fries.
And once back to his parents' place, a home-cooked meal can still be followed by more takeaway.
So this is kung po chicken in batter with egg fried rice, egg burger, ribs, prawn toast.
You've got 3 meals there. He's out of control. It's not just about eating, it's about how he thinks about food and how he sees food.
9 years ago, Chris was around 15 stone. But through breaking up with his fiancée and a spell working abroad, Chris piled on nearly 10 stone in weight and was diagnosed with binge eating disorder.
I think food's become the way that I control my feelings. So instead of actually reacting to things, I tend to eat.
Embarrassed by the binge eating he feels unable to control, Chris is becoming increasingly reclusive.
I like eating on my own, in the car especially, just because it's solitary. Nobody can judge me for what I'm eating. When I look in the mirror, I see 2 or 3 times a normal person. I just feel like a blob.
Chris's dangerous diet is certainly damaging his chances of rekindling his love life, but that may be the least of his worries.
So currently I have arthritis, psoriasis, depression, and hypertension, high cholesterol, and I'm worried that I'm going to get diabetes as well quite soon. Even with all of those illnesses, it still hasn't managed to stop me from eating as much as I do.
My fear is that he won't live as long as I'd like him to live.
I can't carry on, otherwise I'm going to die young.
21-year-old hairdresser Nathan Smith feels he's simply too busy for food.
My biggest problem is having time to eat. When I am in the salon, there's no way I can stop a colour halfway through just to go and grab a bite of my sandwich. It just is an inconvenience.
As a result, meal-dodging Nathan weighs just 8 stone 5, and it's no surprise his skinny frame is starting to get unwelcome attention.
I do get the odd comment off a client. You're so slim, you're so tiny, why don't you eat more? Get some chips and gravy down you.
But when it comes to his daily diet, variety isn't the spice of life for undernourished Nathan.
Pretty much everything I eat is quick and easy. In the morning it will be a bowl of cereal. Then through the day I will try and snack on a few biscuits or a bit of chocolate. Say I've got 5 minutes in between clients where they're being shampooed, so it's a case of just grabbing one of them.
The only decent meal he has is the lunch his gran brings in every day.
What have you made me today?
Ham and cheese. I do worry. Some days I put quite a lot in the bag.
See you later.
Otherwise it worries me that he's just not going to bother eating at all.
And once single Nathan gets home, with Gran not around, his diet leaves a lot to be desired. Dinner is out of a packet pretty much every night.
I do tend to eat the same things on a daily basis. I would like to eat more, but I just don't think I can possibly fit any more in my stomach.
But Nathan's now getting sick of his bony body.
My last boyfriend, he was a dancer and he had an amazing physique. I did compare myself to him a lot. It did make me realise I was a very skinny person. I felt a little bit daft, a bit more unattractive, and perhaps wasn't happy with my own body. I am only 21 years old. I want this to be the start of my life and perhaps my happiness.
Coming up, Dr. Christian sends Chris to learn lessons from his American counterpart.
My name is Joseph Amador. I'm 30 years old and I'm 32 stone. The doctors have told me my lifespan is going to be about 35. I would have never thought that eating food would have done that to me.
Before Chris swaps his distorted diet in the feeding clinic for super skinny Nathan's.
I think he just felt really hungry. Looked a little bit gutted, really. I suppose that might be the right word.